Hi there, everyone. How's things going? Luckily the weather has aligned with our wishes. The sun and I bid you a warm welcome. It's my pleasure to be here today. I would like to let you know about Angkor Wat travel tips. Let's get the show on the road. Angkor Wat travel tips. Angkor Wat is a temple complex in Siem Reap, Cambodia, constructed for King Suryavarman II in the early 12th century. As the best preserved temple in Siem Reap, Angkor Wat has continued to be a major Buddhist center. The temple is the apex of the classic Khmer architecture. It is now an important symbol for Cambodia, adorning the nation's flag, and is the country's primary tourist destination. Okay, I've just made a brief about Angkor Wat. Let's go back to the main point, Angkor Wat travel tips. Here are 9 tips on how to visit Angkor well. The first tip, do your research. There's some easy ways to arm yourself with the right information. Consider grabbing an Angkor specific, which is able to provide historical background, itinerary plans and descriptions of key architectural features. Do you want a lot more? Consider hiring a guide. The second tip, when does high season start? High season starts from November to March, when the weather is usually fair. Late October and November, the country is still lush after the rains, and you will find fewer tourists. The third tip, be in good shape. There are a lot of climbing and walking involved. Don't assume our temples require that you climb them, but a few of the good ones do, including the sunset at Phnom Penh. Plus, the views from the top are fantastic. Wear comfortable shoes with good soles. The paving at the temples is uneven and slippery when wet. Take an umbrella against the rain and sun. A torch is perfect for windowless rooms. If in case you have any injuries or problems with your body, the temples of Angkor might be too much for you. Know your limits, and do research to find out which temples are simpler to handle. The fourth tip, leave enough time. Thinking about the gigantic size of Angkor, you would like to leave lots of time to explore the site's many ruins. Though individual interest in the ruins varies, many tourists suggest at least 3 days for a proper visit. This ensures you can take a look at all the main sites, while also leaving time for a few of the lesser-known gems, a number of which are far less crowded than Angkor Wat. Any less than this and you're likely to spend a lot of time queuing behind other tourists at the big ruins. And if you're really into archaeology, consider grabbing a week-long pass. The fifth tip, 3 types of tickets. There are actually 3 types of tickets, daily, 3 days and weekly. If you are an archaeologist with a lot of spare time, you should purchase a weekly ticket, or at least the 3 days ticket, which can be used within a week. The complex is very big, similar to the Louvre or the Metropolitan Museum, and it is impossible to see it and appreciate it fully even staying for a week. Vice versa, in case you are a normal tourist, the ticket for a week may be too much. However, as beautiful and fascinating Angkor Wat may be, the ruins tend to be repetitive. The sixth tip, plan a midday break. Even during the cooler winter time, Cambodia is positively sweltering. Daytime temperatures hover anywhere from the 80s to over 100 degrees. Spending all day long traveling in the baking heat is a bad idea. Plan a midday break for lunch or supper into your itinerary if you're doing it by yourself. The seventh tip, avoid the crowds. Most tourists follow a well-trodden route, sunrise at the west gate of Angkor Wat before going back to the hotel for breakfast. Late morning, Angkor Thom, Taphrom and Bumtaz Ray. After lunch, exploring more fully Angkor Wat. Sunset atop Phnom Penh Hill. Avoid this itinerary to beat the crowds. The eighth tip, Angkor Wat transportation. The temples cover a large area, so walking is out of the question. You should arrange transportation in Siem Reap. There are many options: bicycles, from $1 to $3 per day, motorcycle taxi, from $6 to $10 per day, tuk-tuks, from $10 to $15 per day, taxi, from $20 to $30 per day. Getting around the Angkor temples by riding a tuk-tuk gives you a unique experience and great view of the surroundings. Tuk-tuk can take you anywhere, even for farther temple. The last tip. Top things to see: Angkor Wat, the Bayon, Tap Rome, Elephant, Vintage Ray, East Mbon, Prayakon, Prayuk, Prayako, Srashrang, Tassam, Baksay Shamkrong, Terrace of the Leper King. That brings us to the end of my talk. I hope you all enjoy the talk and have been given some tips on Angkor Wat. Thank you so much.